Hey guys, Cdrama Invasion here, and this is quite unusual for me because I usually wait at least a week and a half to report C-drama news, but I woke up, I was just scrolling today, as I do, on my socials to check out like if there's any C-drama notes or anything that's new to pop up so I can report for you guys. And the biggest pit in my stomach happened when I saw this headline. So instead of doing like our normal routine with the posters, the air dates, I'm just going to dedicate this one to specifically the three things that's been popping up a lot this past like few days. Sadly, they are all terrible, terrible news. So the first one is, as you can tell in the title, we have actor Yu Menglong confirmed to have passed on the 11th September, and this was just a rumor circulating online when I woke up. So I woke up around like 6-7, and all I saw was like posts, like live posts of like celeb actresses. We have Xingfei, who was his co-star. She went online and she posted something like she's horrified and she's praying that it's not true. So for the first like 1.5 to 2 hours of this, it was all rumors, but then we have confirmation later on. So let's break it down. According to the news, the actor was online around 9:30 p.m. last night, and he was visiting a friend. So he was staying at a friend's place. According to paparazzi who broke the news, the actor had dinner with like around 5 or 6 people at his friend's house. So on September 10th, around 2 a.m. on September 11th, Yu Menglong was in his room and he locked the door. So friend's family probably thought he was just sleeping. But around 6 a.m., his friends left the party and they discovered his body downstairs. But the neighbors were the one first on scene because they were walking their dog, and then they found out like one of the windows of the apartment looked weird, like it was completely broken. It was strange signs, and then there was a couple of other neighbors that confirmed like they saw the signs of distress where the window was, and then they called the authorities because there was like the bushes and the trees weren't looking right there. It looks like trampled on and like stuff. So they took a closer look and they contacted the police. Horrific accident or something happened. Maybe he was too drunk, wanted fresh air. An accident happens. But right now, that's all the details we have. There are like rumors that netizens think that he may have been depressed, but that is all speculation. We do have his studio confirming his passing. They did release a statement, but if there's even more updates, I'll let you know in the next video. Confirmed that the actor and singer has passed away at the age of 37, and they said, "It's with great sadness that we inform you our beloved Menglong fell to his death today. Police investigations has ruled out all criminal suspicion. Rest in peace." Yeah. It is such a heavy way to start the day, but my condolences go out to his friends and his family. It's such heartbreaking news. I knew him from one of the first dramas I've ever watched, which was Eternal Love or 10 Miles of Peach Blossom, and he shows up all the time in lots of costume dramas as supporting roles. And since then, a couple hours went by before I started editing this, and we have some of his co-stars post online condolences and goodbye messages to him. And it's really heartbreaking. So it's a scary time, guys. Be careful if you're even like hanging out and you're leaning on the railing of something, like of buildings. Sometimes they're old, sometimes they're not like well made, and accidents happen. So this is just horrible news. Moving on to the next piece of news, which is not great either. And it is that both Esther Yu and Shuxin, who has been in controversies and rumors, allegations, scandals, well, it escalated because now brand sponsorships and even certain drama productions are looking into replacing them. They are just not taking the chance with them, whether if it's true or not, if it's he said or she said. I'm going to break down the Shukai one first. If you guys don't know, he had an ex-girlfriend, Shu Lisha. She is she's an influencer, and she posted things saying that he cheated on her with this co-star of his. She was a rising star. She still is, and her name is Zhao Qing. They work under the same like management company, and Yu Zhang is like the head of that. So he represented Shukai and was protecting him, being like, yeah, no way. But basically they couldn't really take her to court because they were dating. And although she admitted to fabricating the evidence, which is photos of him, there was a bigger, like, this was the start of something bigger, because after that more people came out of the woodworks and they accused him of gambling, which he also denied. But this one seems to be a little bit more of the thing that's getting these jobs taken away from him, because it is illegal in China. And the story is he was caught, he was an addict, and he was caught running a little gambling den in his own apartment in 2021. So many years ago, but apparently authorities were already trying to build a case on it, and they're looking into it now. So even though he denied it himself, I think there is going to be an investigation open. So that is why his dramas is probably going to be postponed after like the currently airing ones. Although it's hard to prove the he said she said things, it is more of the idea that once your reputation kind of gets like ruined, somebody else who has something against you, who has dirt or just doesn't like you, they're going to dig other things up about you. And that's kind of the case with both of these situations, with Yu Shuxin as well as Shukai. It's been confirmed by like Wei Jiming or Deng Wei will be the one that will be replacing him in his upcoming drama. As for Esther Yu Shuxin, her first rumor was similar, not in the sense where she's cheating on anyone, but it is more like an old thing, and it was like a personality thing where it is her being a diva, a little bit of an offhand comment. And this is when she kind of just entered the industry, and there was footage of her yelling at a co-star. And Zhang Haoyue, the actress, appeared on a variety show called Freshman Graduation Season in 2016. And she revealed like behind the scenes, Yu Shuxin was calling her names and verbally attacking her, isolating her, and making sure like when the attention was on her, like she would try to take over, like when she was talking or she was having a moment in the show, Yu Shuxin would try to turn the attention away from the actress instead of giving them respect and time for just saying what they need to on a show. She kind of just went in, but honestly it could just be like back then very competitive timing and you're new to the industry. So I'm just saying, like, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt that, you know, she wants to do well, and the best thing is to, I guess she was a pick-me and she wanted as much screen time as possible, which, you know, it makes the most sense for her career. But I get it if her jokes didn't land properly, or if she was having like a bit of a scuffle with this one actress. I understand why. If they were so busy and they didn't get to like talk it out or anything, that this actress might felt a certain type of way about it. But the situation, just like Shukai, from one thing that really doesn't have too much evidence, this one it does, it is documented, but the context is not clear, and it could be a combination of evil editing, which is basically when they cut out everything, they just put in like some drama or something for you to talk about in the show. Or it could have been like, yeah, she was having an off day, she was trying to like come off as funny, but maybe to some people who also was more quiet or wanted the spotlight and didn't like the way like she made a joke at their appearance. Like, yeah, it could have rubbed off in the wrong way for sure. But the bigger issue here is really the rumors with her family. But then again, it is rumors, and there's just been lots of allegations ever since she started the industry that her parents, her wealth is not clean money, and her parents is involved in tax evasion scandal. But nothing really came out of it because they know the right people. So far, I don't think there's been rumors or anything that there are people looking into this one. So who knows? But I do feel bad for her for, a lot of these cases where they're blacklisted for a certain amount of time. Sometimes, yes, they do get people that do tax evasion or do illegal things, and that's good that they're on that. But the second thing is sometimes it's really weird or hard to prove things that will ruin your career forever. So yeah, it is such a strange time to be in for entertainment people because ever since the Shukai one, there was last week I reported on the Dylan Wong situation. People are just digging into their past and nitpicking every small thing, and sometimes you're onto something, but also sometimes you're ruining somebody's entire career. Now, do I think, unless it is proven that her family or she's involved in tax evasion, I don't really think she'll be canceled forever. I think that both her and Shukai will maybe just take a break for half a year, a couple of months, just like Angela Baby, where the situation was kind of out of her control. I always refer to that one was so strange to me because she basically attended Lisa's Crazy Horse burlesque show where it's more risque, but she is a fully grown adult and it wasn't even on Chinese soil, and it was her own free time or whatever. She's an adult, it's fine in my opinion. But they were saying, no, you're a top star, therefore you need to represent our morals even if you're at sea. And apparently they didn't like that she went to the show. So for a year and a half, she was literally gone. She had no real television dramas, or she was on Running Man as a full-time member for years, and then they kind of just took her off. So it's really scary out there. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this? I think it's crazy. The only good thing that I've seen out of this, to end things on a higher note, because it's been such a depressing and crazy time, is we got confirmation that from her producer on her drama with Wang Anyu that she's not going to be replaced. So that's good. There was a lot of rumors that they were going to replace her or replace the male lead, and the male lead's team, Wang Anyu's team, refuses to work with her. But that's not the case. So I'm glad that somebody said something about it. A lot of times there are situations where they like to, let the storm kind of go on, and then they just sit back and then later release a statement. So the way that Shu Lisha literally admitted that some of the photos were fake, and still people are siding with her, or they refuse to listen to the truth because they just want somebody to point their fingers. They just want to be right, or they just love it when somebody falls off their empire. And that's what I think it is. Although there are some of the rumors there are definitely more serious than others, and I think that should be the focal point, the gambling situation, if he is addicted, or what's going on. I'm still on the fence where I think no matter who they are human, but at the same time, as we give them grace and before there's actual evidence or the law cracks down on them, we shouldn't really assume, because it can ruin their lives. The producer kind of came online and was like, no, we're not replacing her. I'm kind of glad that this is one of the few cases that it happens, because there's so many other drama productions where they just get a whiff of like a rumor and you're immediately replaced. So she probably does have a strong bond and trust with the people that she worked with, and that's great. So I really hope everything works out for them. I hope she's not guilty of any of this, and so is her family, because 100% you're going to get dragged down. And yeah, I hope it's just successful, because a lot of dramas that you go through with it and then next year comes around, she is going to be charged of tax evasion. Like, it's an example. I'm thinking of Yuan Bingyan, who was in Love Never Fails, Love and Redemption. Like, that's kind of what happened to her drama, and then you have to replace them, and it's a whole mess. So business stance wise, I get why they do it. It's cruel, but I see both sides. So the one that's dropping Shukai, that's only one of the dramas. So apparently he's going to be in 3 upcoming dramas, or he's looking at 3 scripts. So I'll let you guys know if there's any updates on those, whether they decide to keep him or replace him. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know your thoughts on any of the news above. Rest in peace, Yu Menglong. Either way, I hope he's in a better place, and that I've made wrap-ups on drama reviews, top 10s, or other news in the past weeks. I really appreciate it. And if you want, then there's a link in the description to my Ko-fi or Ko-fi page for any additional support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.